Hi, this is Bob. Been working on the 1929 Model A Ford here, and I had quite a noise coming out of the rear wheels. It was a scrape, 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 and then also a plop, 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 as I was going slow. And when I applied the brakes, it would do that plop, 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 plop. And what was happening was the connecting, what do you call it? There's toggle levers in there, they call them. They form a Y, and it pushes your emergency brake bands out. And those toggle levers were out, sticking out a little bit. All I had to do was push them back in. I took a 2x2 piece of wood and a regular claw hammer and smacked it a couple times and actually bent those things back in without taking it apart. Probably would have done a better job if I had taken it all apart and straightened them out, but hitting them like that right there where they join in that Y, that knocked them back in just a little bit, got rid of that click, 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 click noise, and it was hitting right here on these rivets. You can see there's one up here, one here, and one here. And you can also see where it rubbed around here. There's witness marks around here. They call those witness marks. That's where the scraping was taking place. And you can see it scraped the surface there. And you could clearly see the problem. There's also some scraping going on in here too, you can see. So this is the old wheel, and that was scraping up here on the edge. And I got to thinking about the rear axle assembly and the axle shafts, and I had put shims in there, and still had a problem with it making these noises and things. And I believe that was mostly because of those emergency brake toggle links. They form, like I say, they form a Y, and it pushes the emergency brake bands out. And I just smacked it, not real hard, with a piece of 2x2 lumber, and hit it with a hammer, and just bent those in just a little bit. And that got rid of that noise. And I just wanted to comment on that. Rather than taking it all apart, it worked out okay. And the other thing was that I still had the scraping out here from the brake drum, or the brake brake shoes. The brake shoes were scraping right out here, and so I had then I looked at it and finally decided that since that axle is made of such a hard material and a tough material, the axle shaft, that if the key was to break in the keyway slot, then that would act like a boring bar on the center hole there, and the thing it would bore out would be the softer material that this hub is made of inside. And I got to thinking about that, and I thought, my golly, these wheels are 90 years old, and so maybe that had happened more than once, and that those had worn out. I had put those shims in there, and that helped. But then I got to thinking, you know, maybe I should just go ahead and try a set of the new cast iron brake drums, which I did. And I was so happy that I did that. I bought my cast iron brake drums at Snyder's. They worked really good. I had no problem at all, and I really liked that. But yesterday now, my wife and I went out. I told my wife I haven't had the Model A Ford out since last year, actually. And so we went out and just took a little ride. We went 25 miles, and I had no problem at all with any noises or anything, and the braking was very, very good. I have noticed considerable improvement in the braking with the cast iron drums, as well as no noise. And I had fought that noise for a couple of years, so I was really happy. I had tried various rear drums, used ones, had a couple of them turned, and all that, and put new shims in, axle shims, for the tapered end of the axle, and the problem was cured by putting on 2 new cast iron brake drum assemblies. I bought the assemblies because I had heard of people buying the drums and the lug nuts and the hub separately, and then putting them together themselves, and then cracking the drum because they had used too much pressure on putting the lug nuts in, or had the tool had slipped or whatever. And I thought, well, you know, I'm going to just go ahead and buy the assembled units. They're much more expensive, but I know they would be put together properly, and that worked out very well. So I just wanted to make this follow-up and let you guys know that that these brake drums did solve the problem for me. And I can't guarantee that it would solve the problem for your car if you have noises and scraping and things in the rear hubs, but it did the job for me. So that's all I wanted to show, is how well that worked out. So that's it, and just keep those Model A's rolling, guys. Bye.